Hello, and thank you so much for joining us for the Festival of Cinema NYC virtual filmmaker interviews. I'm Stephen S. Miller, cabaret star, and I'm being joined by my fabulous co-host, Bonnie Rose, star of film and television. We are being joined today by three incredible filmmakers. We've got Louise, we have Sean, and we have Kristie. And we are just so excited to have you here with your film, Brilliant, which you are, which will be showing on Saturday, October 3rd at 7 p.m. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'm really thrilled to have all of you here. And we wanted to start off by asking, what would be the premise of the film, of the short?
So it was originally, so it's based off the book called A Different Kind of Brilliant. So I wanted to do an evolution of this. So the premise of it is because I've got a son who's is a different sort of brilliant. And I just wanted to reinforce with him, how does he actually find that brilliance within? In a world that often says, oh, it's okay to be different, but then pummels you down on that, when you are. I really wanted to actually have something that really embraced and told his story about how he came to really accept who he was. And Sean, from your side?
Yeah, very much the same. So my brother.
Focus with that baby. So
sorry. So Louise contacted me after she saw my different film I did TEDx in Sydney, and not knowing that I also had a strong connection to autism with my older brother is heavily autistic, and so yeah, she contacted me, and I obviously jumped at the chance to sort of tell a bit of his story, and also encourage people to be a bit more accepting of people that are different, especially because it's not always as obvious that they are different. So it can easily get misconstrued, and kids can be mean, and this just kind of helps them hopefully learn not to be as mean, and yeah, and just be a lot more accepting.
And just to extend on that, so the book that I wrote I was an accidental author, but moving on, but it was fantastic because it's now been used in we had about 4,000 teachers download the free teacher pack. So my vision is I'd love for them to actually use this in those schools as well. So that's why with the book, we gave most of the money to charity, and everybody's donated their time on this project because we want to give this as a free resource to all the schools as well. So it's definitely a passion project.
Well, that actually part of it you answered, which is the next question would be, what was the inspiration? And I heard that both of you have a personal connection to this. So let's say there was the inspiration, but in the inspiration, what made you do this now?
So for me, what prompted me to do the book, and then this came from that, was my little story is, when you first get the diagnosis as a parent, you just want to throw yourself into kind of what you think is fixing them, and anyway, we'd had a full-on week of therapy. It was just, we were both exhausted, and my son was in the back of the car, and he actually started singing Trolls song, which he never normally sings, and he started singing My True Colours. And I don't know what it was. I'm now crying even thinking about it. But I just thought, this whole time I've been trying to make him grey, but he's actually singing to me. I don't know. I don't think he was doing it on purpose, but it was like, I felt like he was saying, see my true colours. And for me, that was a really defining moment. This whole time I'd been trying to get him to be in my world I decided that it was time for me to be in his world. And that was the real pivotal moment. And I thought, okay, I'm going to embrace this. Now, when it comes to autism, you so often hear just all the bad stories. And there are so many amazing people with autism. Like, if it wasn't for autistic people, there wouldn't be, you know, Einstein, Michelangelo, Mozart, all of these people had autism. And like in the current framework, there's authors, there's actors, there's directors, there's neuroscientists, there's so many people with autism. And what they've done is they've honed their very unique brains in a very special way. But when you first get the diagnosis, it's all kind of doom and gloom. So I was like, no, I'm really changing this narrative. So I did as much research as I could to find all the positive stories, and that's how I made the book. So it was that moment in the car that was the defining moment for me. And then because it just snowballed, and because we had so much exposure in the schools, I wanted to do a really special video. And that's when I saw Sean's amazing video at TEDx, and I thought, be brave. So I took a photo of the end frame, contacted on LinkedIn, and I thought, he's never going to respond. Like, he's too good, he's not going to respond. And he did, and we caught up for coffee, and this is what's led to here.
How inspirational is that? That's phenomenal, phenomenal. So how in this phenomenal, in this kismet, in all of this, color of the rainbow, how, hello, how, and in behind you as well, how did funding, how did this particular project come about, and the funding, and you know,
this is where Kristie comes in. So actually we all did it as for free, but then Kristie was the magic behind pulling the extra pieces together. Do you want to talk to that, Kristie?
Yeah, so Louise and I work together in our day jobs. So I work in a creative agency, and we heard about Louise's book, and we were talking about it, and we met Lachlan, and yeah, we were just thrilled to be asked to be involved. So Alec, who may or may not be joining us, he's running late on another call, was one of our copywriters at the agency, part of our creative team. And we asked him to kind of turn the book into a short film with the support of Sean, obviously. So that's where this kind of idea of this origin story came from. As Lou mentioned, we wanted to really focus on the positive side of things, and we came up with this idea around the superpowers of these people and how unique and individual they all are. So Alec and Sean kind of partnered on the concept and the idea. Obviously Sean probably did the most man hours in terms of the illustration, the animation, called on lots of favors from lots of friends, and then we called on a fair few favors between the music company in London. We used a local voice in Australia, a sound house in Australia. So lots of coming together of lots of different people and companies to donate their time for free for this cause.
And what an absolute positive influence and positive message, especially in today's world. Such a positive force, as you said, to get into their music, not their music getting into you, you know? So in this last question, and I hate to make it the last question, and I know that we would love to have you here, but how excited are you to hear about that your film will be up in a drive-in?
So cool.
In Queens.
It's pretty so awesome.
Cool. It's just, sorry, Sean, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, it's pretty awesome, yeah. Yeah, when I was obviously sitting here for hours animating characters and hand drawing different elements of stuff, I wasn't imagining it being in a drive-in in Queens. So yeah, it's pretty
I mean, we're so excited. Honestly, if it wasn't for COVID, we'd be over there in a second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we're so thrilled that we got together, and you know, the timing worked
Yeah.
right now. And we're so thrilled that, you know, you came to this interview and that will be with us in the film festival. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn it back over to Stephen.
And I just want to thank each one of you for creating this masterpiece and for telling a story that is really, truly close to my heart. So I thank you. You're amazing. You're brilliant.
Thank you very much.
What a
Thank you.
great summary. Thank you.
I want to also thank my fabulous co-host, Bonnie Rose, for joining us with her fabulous brilliance. And until next time, have a brilliant day.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you at the drive-in.